Joss and Christina actually had a nice moment together. Shocking, I know. For once, they acted like step-siblings instead of sworn enemies. Who knew it was possible? At first, I braced myself for the usual snark and drama, but it turned out to be surprisingly sweet. Could this be the beginning of a kindred connection? I'll believe it when I see it. That said, Christina might need some positive PR during the Eva trial. The argument at Carly's restaurant? Yeah, a lot of people saw that mess. She's going to need Joss to spin it as just a sisterly spat and play nice for once. Of course, knowing Christina, there's always a catch. Her positivity often comes with strings attached, so let's not trust it just yet. Still, I don't think their relationship is that far gone. They were step-siblings for a long time, and honestly, just because the parents divorced doesn't mean the kids have to hit delete on their bond. Family is messy, and these two are proof of that. Kind of. But really, let's talk about the whole Eva-Irene situation. These two are completely delusional if they think Eva's to blame for Irene's death. It was an accident. A tragic one, sure, but still an accident. Christina should have stayed her happy self at home and saved us all the headache. And speaking of Eva, there's plenty of hate being thrown her way, some of it justified, let's be honest, but everyone hoping to take her down is in for a rude awakening when the truth comes out. Spoiler alert, it wasn't her fault. Imagine that. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. What is wrong with Sonny? Seriously, does this man have the sense that God gave a goat? Why on earth is he trying to pull Christina into his coffee business? Or worse, the business? This is shaping up to be Christina's official debut as the mob princess. Can't you just picture it now? Christina Corinthos Davis, caffeine dealer by day, mob boss by night. Wait though, did Sonny actually say coffee business? Even Christina was like, I'm not qualified for anything you're running. Did I miss him spelling it out? Either way, the idea is absurd. Here's a thought. Maybe Sonny and Alexis should redirect their energy into encouraging Christina to stick with her original goal, working at the center. You know, where she'd actually be safe and productive. Remember how we couldn't escape the endless chatter about the center? And now it's just dropped? What a waste of all that screen time. Not that Christina is in any shape to work right now. She's too busy drowning in self-pity to hold down any job. And when the truth about Irene's death comes out, that Eve is innocent, Christina's probably going to go nuclear. Again, she's always been a hot mess and a loose cannon, and frankly, she hasn't changed. That said, maybe Christina would make a great mob princess. She fits the profile. Alexis already pointed out that Christina confuses justice with revenge, and she's fueled by rage. Plus, she despises Molly, who just happens to be the DA. Sonny couldn't ask for a better recruit to the mob. What could possibly go wrong? Honestly, I'm with Jason on this one. Let Danny and the kids decide. It's not rocket science. They're old enough to have a say about where they want to be. And let's face it, between Jason and Drew's antics, brawling and bonding on nursery room floors, the kids are the only ones showing any maturity in the aftermath of Mom's passing. Maybe Dante should step in as the surrogate parent here, if that's even the right term. Now about Drew, what happened to this guy? He used to be honorable, especially back when Billy Miller played him. But now, he's a total phony and a weasel, playing the victim despite knowing exactly why Jason made the choices he did. The irony is almost laughable given Drew's involvement in the shady situation with Willow. It's vile, really. Here's hoping the truth bomb drops soon and shakes things up in Port Charles. Jason, for all his flaws, isn't sinking that low. Sure, he fights people who doesn't in PC, but at least he's not sleeping with married women. Drew, on the other hand, has hit rock bottom. He's so far gone, It's hard to imagine any redemption for him at this point. And Alexis, she should just back off. She didn't exactly ace the parenting game with her own kids, so trying for a do-over here? Hard pass. Stay in your lane, Alexis. Let's not forget that both Drew and Jason have gone through some serious transformations over the years. Drew has had 3 different actors and countless rewrites, which might explain why he feels like a totally different person now. Back in the day, he wasn't much of a father to Oscar, and honestly, he still doesn't feel like a dad in action, just in words. Maybe that brutal prison beating did something to him, whether it's a mild brain injury or just a total personality shift. Jason, on the other hand, has grown. In the beginning, he wasn't all in on fatherhood. Remember, Danny only came into the picture because Sam wanted it so badly. But now, Jason's coming around. He's learning what it means to care for his kids. He's reaching out, like he did with Jake before he left for college, and it was actually a positive moment between them. With Danny, he sees so much of himself, and the bond they're building could be something special. If Jason could step back from the mob and focus on being a dad, it'd be worth it. Let's see if the writers take that path. Knowing how things go in Port Charles, this was probably decided months ago, but hey, we can dream, right? Missing Scott Baldwin. Seriously, where is Scott? The bumbling, the comic relief, the chaos. He's an irreplaceable part of the show. Rick, he can't even come close to filling Scott's shoes. I'll take Scott's blustering antics over Rick's slimy demeanor any day. That said, let's not have them both on screen at the same time, thanks. The show is at its best when it leans into hospital drama, not endless lawyer battles where everyone tries to out-clever each other. By the way, did Scott ever resurface after Jason tracked down the pharmacist? Because I'm really missing him and Liesel. Those two bring such a unique energy that's hard to replicate. As for Rick, I'll admit he's not all bad. I wasn't watching much during his prime, but I do remember the infamous panic room storyline, and of course, the one-night stand with Sam while married to Alexis. Wasn't that messy? Were Sam and Alexis already on bad terms before that, or did Rick help light that particular fire? One thing I can't see, though, is Rick as a romantic partner for Elizabeth. Sorry, but no, she's still so youthful and vibrant, and Rick, well, he looks like he could be her dad. It's just not the vibe. So what's the plan, Sonny? Rubbing out Drew too. That little sit-down with Sonny was downright revolting. Who in their right mind goes to Sonny Corinthos for advice? The man who thinks hanging someone from a meat hook is a viable custody strategy. Sure, that's who you want guiding your moral compass. What's next? Turning Drew into the next Jagger, 6 feet under? Sonny doesn't even know what the fight between Jason and Drew was actually about. Why? Because Jason won't spill the details, probably because of Michael. But Sonny's no fool. He knows Jason's holding something back, and you can bet he'll dig until he finds out. My guess? Sonny goes straight to Michael, and Michael, being Michael, cracks and spills the whole story. Here's the thing. None of this mess should have gone this far. Kate's didn't need to die, and Drew doesn't either. There were so many other ways to deal with Jagger, but no, this is Port Charles, where subtlety isn't in the vocabulary. That whole situation was a disaster, and now my head's spinning with Drew's storyline. The constant changes in writing teams have turned Drew into a shadow of his former self. It's not even character development anymore, it's outright assassination. What's next for him? Another round of poor decisions and unnecessary drama. At this rate, we'll be lucky if there's anything redeemable left. What's the deal with Sam's children's ELQ shares? Okay, so Danny definitely has ELQ shares, but does Emily S. have any? I might be misremembering. Help me out here. Back when Valentin needed voting rights to take control of ELQ, Sam handed hers over to him. But it wasn't out of the goodness of her heart. She struck a deal. In exchange for giving Valentin control of the shares, he arranged for her overly strict parole officer to be replaced with someone more relaxed. This new officer basically turned a blind eye to Sam's activities, making her life a whole lot easier. Now that Sam is gone, here's the real question. Is the deal she made with Valentin still valid? Or is it voided now that she's out of the picture? And if it's voided, who's holding the voting rights for Danny's shares, and possibly Emily's? Did Valentin somehow keep his hold on them, or are they back in the family's control? Sonny giving Jason custody advice? Really? Why on earth is Jason asking Sonny for advice about child custody? Sonny's track record in court is hardly inspirational. His wins typically involve blackmailing judges, not stellar parenting skills. Sure, Sonny believes he's father of the year, but let's be real. Still, I do agree with Jason's idea to let Danny have a say in his future. Danny's torn. He doesn't want to leave Scout, but he also loves Jason. A reasonable compromise could be Jason explaining to Danny that while he wants to be with him, it's what Sam would have wanted for Danny and Scout to stay together. Danny could live at the Quartermain's mansion, ensuring stability, while Jason still has custody and stays actively involved. One thing's for sure, if Danny's staying at the Q's, Drew isn't going to be the one supervising. Time will tell, but let's hope this custody mess gets sorted before the new year. Why can't all the kids live at the Q mansion, with decisions made by their parents? Alexis is a wreck, Dante and Jason have dangerous jobs, and Drew might be shipped off to DC anyway. The Q estate seems like the most stable option. That said, Drew making it to DC is hardly a guarantee. If his new position isn't blown apart by scandal, he might demand Emily S. move to a private school in DC, separating her from Rocco and Danny. And then there's the question of whether Danny would even want to live away from Jason, or if the kids would prefer to be with Dante now that their mom is gone. So many ifs, but one thing is certain, keep the Davis crew out of it. This whole thing needs to be resolved quickly. The court should decide on temporary custody arrangements for the minor children, with a permanent plan to follow. Also, is this why Sonny offered Christina that coffee shop job? Maybe he's trying to free Jason from their business ties, so Jason can focus on being a full-time dad to Danny. Or, knowing Sonny, maybe it's part of some bigger scheme. Why is Drew playing the victim? Seriously, what is Drew's deal? He knows exactly why Jason hit him, yet he's strutting around acting like some poor, innocent victim. He's making it look like Jason is this unhinged maniac who attacked him for no reason. Give me a break. Drew is acting like a complete coward, and it's infuriating. I can't wait for the truth to come out, that he slept with both Willow and Nina. That fallout is going to be chef's kiss. The best part? Watching Willow and Nina react to the news. How will they handle realizing they both fell into Drew's web? That's going to be a spectacle, and Drew will have nowhere to hide when the whole town turns against him. And believe me, that day can't come soon enough. Once it all blows up, Drew needs to pack his bags and head straight to Washington, D.C. No detours, no excuses. Could it be that Drew is just in denial? Maybe he doesn't realize Jason saw more than the kiss. If Drew really thinks that's all Jason was reacting to, he's even more clueless than we thought. But here's an idea. If Drew knows what's about to come out, why hasn't he warned Willow? A little heads up might save some of the inevitable chaos. But then again, Drew seems more interested in protecting himself than anyone else. How is Jason at the center of Michael and Willow's or Drew's affair? It all comes back to Michael. He brought Jason into the situation, and Jason, being Jason, jumped in to help the only way he knows how. Jason acted on what he thought Michael should have done, stepping up when Michael hesitated. But now, Jason seems to have backed off, leaving Michael in control of what happens next. Michael still has the video and can use it or not when he decides the time is right. But let's be real. If Michael doesn't kick Willow to the curb after all this, he'll prove he has no spine. The children can still have visits with their mother after the divorce. There's no reason to keep them apart. Michael's real fear might be that Drew could swoop in and become their stepfather. That said, why does Jason always have to be in the middle of every storyline? Michael is a grown man who was handling things well enough on his own. It would have been more satisfying to see Michael take on Drew himself rather than having Jason step in yet again. Just my opinion. So Babe is Lulu. Interesting. I'm intrigued. I really liked the actress who played Lulu back in the day, so I'm curious to see how this new take on the character plays out. I would have loved to see Julie Berman, Jade V, return to the role, but I guess that's not in the cards. When I saw that scene on November 20th, with pre-coma Lulu talking to Cyrus about the news article, I immediately thought, wow, she really has that classic Lulu vibe. It was almost like the old Lulu was right there again, and it gave me hope that this new actress can really capture her spirit. I'm hoping my first impression holds up, and this Lulu shines in her own way. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.